Hello and welcome to Alchemist Swim. I'm Alchemist Jen and thanks for joining me on this fine day. I find that after I play my kazoo, I often giggle at myself because I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I didn't make it up, I just made it up. I mean, I did make it up in the moment. I didn't like anything planned. I usually like laugh to myself as soon as I pull from my lips, but that's something I do, just verbalizing it today. So, welcome! I'm happy you're here. Hope it's an alright day for you, and thanks for joining me. So today's video, we're going to do our doodle of the day. So, bloom, baby! That's my doodle. It's my silly doodle for the day. Bloom, baby! With some color. And then I dyed some pants the other day, so I thought I would show these beauties to you. So they are quite fun. Quite fun. They're cotton and delicious. Just so much goodness going on there. So just figured you'd want to see them. All their colorful glory. Ta-da! All that color right in your face. How exciting is that? So, yay for pants. So, I will be loading those up as soon as I take photos and make sure that I like those photos. It's difficult to photograph clothing, so if you've ever tried, you're just like, I want to take a picture of my shirt, and then you find that it just looks awkward without either a form or something underneath it, or you can hang it up and then you have to have the right background or lighting or whatever. Just makes it look like you're trying to get across what you want to. So I'm working on my progress there and my ideas, so at some point they will be up on my website, our royal wheat. That was funny. And so yeah, so that is the plan there. So I also have dyed some yarn, and then I will show you that tomorrow because I was like, oh, I'm going to show two things. I should save a thing for tomorrow. So I'm going to show you tomorrow, but it is dry and it's super squishy and super fun. And so I can't wait to show you yarn. So in the meantime, I'm just going to knit and talk about what else I'm working on this week. So I have a show on Saturday, so it's going to be in Elmira. Super excited about it. I think it's going to be a fun time. It's in a big tent. So yay for tent sales. And so I don't have to bring my own, which is cool, but then also just trying to decide on how I want my layout. My display is so flexible. I also just like to have an idea before I go in to make sure I have all the things that I need for it. So I would like to try out my new net display option. I showed in a couple videos recently, and just kind of see how that plays out, how I interact with it, how it shows up. It'll give me a good chance to test it out before I make more panels. I'm pretty sure at least that it'll do really well in like my tent setting where I can put it on up as the walls and it'll keep things from blowing away. So in more of an indoor setting or a setting that is not tied to the tent that I bring will be interesting test for indoor shows. So I'm hoping that it will allow for some height and visibility for my display, and so I think that I can also have things that are a little bit more flexible with how I hang and display them. So those are my goals through testing out this weekend. So yeah, so that will be really fun just to see, interact, get responses, and kind of go from there. I'm definitely one to test things out before I take them fully. I think It's just one of my things, even if I'm mentally just kind of working through it. And so that's what I got going on. I think that as I'm knitting here, that last row probably should have been the opening for that. And if you've listened to my last one, you're like, hey, you're probably going to forget where you were, and I just kept knitting, and I feel like it's time to open it up. Alright. It's good, it's good, it's good. Alright, one more and then I'll open it. I'm just making a decision. I think I said that last time too, so then we will go forward. Moving forward is awesome. Rather than getting stuck, I suppose, right? So, yes, so I am going to be doing that show this weekend. Some of the same people that I've seen before, some new people, vending in the show too, so that'll be really cool. And then definitely probably seeing some different potential customers as well. So I'm trying to think about how I want to interact and wow them as well. So those are my thoughts at the moment, just as I'm planning and scheming and trying to figure things out. So I think it's a pretty good thing. Trying to mentally going, maybe I can try to go to Corning this week too and drop off some more yarn for Rabbit Row as well. So if I have some with me and some I can drop off there, that would be super awesome. So I can do it after work since some of my shifts are earlier. So yay! How about that? As I'm thinking and planning out the week while I'm knitting and talking with you. Thank you for your listening and attentiveness and helping me make decisions. I appreciate it. So I'm going to set up another ice dye. So nice big muck dye with some more clothing that I have. I really enjoy the muck dyeing just because it is quite random. It's quite you get quite a variety to it, as you can see with the pants there too. So I find that those are, I think they're quite a bit more playful than things that are specifically planned out. So for me anyway, I find that I end up with more interesting pieces without having to follow guidelines if I'm, say, doing like a custom order or something. It's just kind of something I'm seeing in my stuff right now. So, so it's interesting. So I just figured I'd state it. So I am continue to knit on here. So I'm going to do the opening that will allow the scarf to be pulled through itself. So this silly scarf has several of those openings, so it can be completely adjustable and modifiable. So I'm going to start on that. Yay! So knit 2 and slide one over the other, the first stitch over the one I just did, so that way we're kind of casting off, which is cool. And then we'll do a cast on in the middle of the next row to close that opening. Fancy, fancy, fancy. It looks pretty cool. So since I finished my last one, I should try to remember to wear it. I think I might get some attention and some potential people that will want to do the pattern. I do not have any of this yarn, but other yarns would work as well. So that is something I want to rectify as well too, because this sells really well. This wool and cotton blend. I'm out of it. I think my other the shops are out of it too, or at least pretty low. So I will see what I can do with that, since it's so fun. So I'll show you what it looks like with that cast off. Almost done with the rope. Nice little opening in the middle. Ta-da! It was a very interesting ta-da, but that was there. It existed still, even if it was interesting. And here we go. And then I'll cast on the next row, and then we're in a good spot. So that's what it looks like. It's a nice little blip, just a little opening there. So we can create another one of those little fun cavities there. That's what I'm calling it. I just said it. It was a fun cavity. I just make up stuff, and sometimes I'm like, oh really, that's what you went with. But it does make it interesting, that's for sure. For sure, there's never a dull moment. So I'll be doing that dyeing. I also have decided on my first crochet patterns, and then I've also decided on the next two as well. So I will be able to start working on, I guess, the 4 designs. I'll have to work on testing, designing and then testing the first 2, so I can get test knitters and crocheters. I don't know why I said knitters, I meant crocheters, because I'm going to be crocheting first off. I think it's just going to have better results for the amigurumi and for my confidence level if I'm going to have samples and things too. And then I'll work on knitting next year as part of my growth and expansion there. So that's my current plan. And then I'm just trying to figure out what other little things I want to get into. I'm really intrigued by shrinky plastic things. I don't know why. I'm still really intrigued by resin. I don't know why plastics are so intriguing. I think it's just more the playful nature of them and how they lend to sculpture and illustration. I think that's probably really the draw. And then things that kind of are toy-like. So it's where, you know, creating amigurumi creatures, or even naming my silly scarflet. Silly scarflet's interactive. It's not a singular thing. It's meant to be more playful and fun. So that's kind of where my art, I think, ends up going. And the colors, my feel of things. Not taking life too seriously. I'm going to count real quick. 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know I'm going to get lost, so I figure I would count. While I talk anyway, I get lost. 8, 9, and then 10 is on the other side already waiting for us. It's like a bridge. It really is like a bridge. I'll double count. I'll make sure I have the right number. 2, 5. That's the other stitches, so I can very easily figure out where I am just based off of how short the rows are. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Yay! It really is. I mean, you've seen me here too doing a couple rows, and it's really just going super quick. It's a very easy knit, very relaxing, very fun. It's not one that you hold tightly with your shoulders. It's definitely one that's a little bit more loose and easy to pick up and put down whenever you want to without any, you know, feeling like you're leaving anything hanging. But it's also really quick, so you can knock it out quickly if you needed it for a gift or for an outfit or something. So, yay! There we are. Pretty opening. I still really like this yarn. This is ice dyed, so it really ends up with some randomness to the color, but then there's, you know, a couple hues, at least 3 in there, so they kind of interact with each other fascinatingly. Little short rows. It looks very, very playful in itself as well too. So that has been the whim of the day. We'll see where the whim takes us tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Toodaloo.